Hey guys, Hannah here at Opp Family Chiropractic in St. Francis. I am both an exercise specialist here and a craniosacral therapist. And I just wanted to dive in and talk a little bit about some outdoor activities and how to move your body a little bit better so that you can feel better and do more of what you love. You might be just in the thick of maybe starting up some of these activities or maybe just getting going, but I want to go through maybe some ways to help prevent some things that could happen and just manage things. So the first thing is just to warm up your body a little bit. So maybe that's doing some neck circles, just to kind of help move things around. You go around, just don't push through any pain, just to kind of help wake those things up. And then doing something where you take like a broomstick and you go up and over and just try to stretch out your shoulders 10 times or so, just to kind of get things moved up and warmed up. Because a lot of times we don't realize how much our body really does need a little something before we just dive right into the activities. We don't want to go too hard and then pay for it later. Maybe even stretching out your wrists or doing some wrist circles just to kind of get it going. And then the next thing I want to go through is just talking about some body mechanics specific things. So when you're out in the garden or you're doing some landscaping work, any of those things, pay attention to how your body is lined up. So you want to make sure your neck is not jutted forwards. If you're leaning over a lot, that is, a bowling ball essentially on top of a pretty skinny structure here. You got vertebrae in your neck that you want to protect and different small muscles and everything that get strained really easily when we're in those prolonged positions. So that's just keeping that chin tucked back. So whenever you're leaning forwards, just trying to pull that back will make a big difference in decreasing the stress on your spine when you're doing those things. Now, when you're doing maybe some mowing or anything where you're potentially like holding something for a longer period of time, thinking about pulling those shoulders down and back into those back pockets will help you a lot to avoid that pulling feeling in the front of the shoulders or maybe even too much stress in between those shoulder blades. That will help a lot to keep those things stacked on top of each other. The other thing is to think about your breathing, embracing your core while you're moving throughout your activities as you're working in your yard. Because sometimes we hold our breath at weird times when we're stressed and we're straining and we're working really hard. Sometimes just taking that deep breath can really be helpful to reset your body and keep you going. The third thing is just taking breaks and changing position. Ask for help. Put your kids to work, grandkids to work a little bit just to kind of offset things. But changing positions and kind of multitasking might be helpful too. Bouncing between activities so your body isn't just repetitively kind of wearing out. So if you're dealing with any of these maybe upper body aches and pains, or maybe you had a weekend warrior moment, you went too hard and overdid it a little. We got your back here. So if you need to schedule an appointment, we'd be happy to hear from you and get you all tuned up and maybe prescribe some exercises that are specific for you to help you feel the best that you can feel. Thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing from you.